Aria had to remind me. She's like, "You're muted." I was like, "Yes, I am." Hi, everybody. We're so excited. We're giving you a few extra minutes. Aria's going to start the video with me today as we're waiting for Daddy to get back. And we're going to get going on this bonus session for you all. And we really wanted to anchor in what it means to live the best experience, the best life, the best of everything. Because little miss, you want to share with everybody what you said to me? Can I share with them what you said to me? I don't even know how we were talking about it. Oh, I think it's because I don't want to say hi to everybody. We'll say hi in a second, but we thought we'd get the pre-party started. No, we ended up in an Airbnb that wasn't like the best. Okay. So Aria and we were talking and I was like, Aria, I was like, we gotta, and I don't even remember the conversation we were having, but then Aria all of a sudden goes, invest in the best. And I was like, you're right. And I right away, I wrote it down and I was like, you are right. I did. No, I wrote it down in my book and I wrote it down in my phone. And so Aria, I love that you were here with me for these first few moments. Is there anything you want to add before you go? Nope. No. She's like, no.
Like, peace out.
No. Let's just make sure everybody's
Hi.
saying hi to everyone.
And we invested in the best, sorry.
Invest in the best, as Aria says.
Yes.
So as you can tell, we're in a different space. We're outside today because we're on the move.
Yep.
And we're going to start our journey back up north already. We're going to stay till Monday, but there were changes and fluctuations in all the things. And so we were tuning in, even though we all want to be here, right? We're all like, yes, let's be here. Gabriel's like, yes, let's
I want to be here. Yeah, for sure.
The kids too. And, sometimes it's about those fluctuations that are happening in our life and then us being able to readjust with those fluctuations that are happening and make the best of the situation. So that's really the theme for today is the best, creating the best experience, the best life, the best purpose, the best alignment, just like Aria brought forward, invest in the best. And I love that she brought that forward because I really feel like that's the option that we have available all the time. We get to make choices that are average, mediocre, less than, or the really beautiful elevated conversations, And so that's what we really want to bring forward today. Gabriel, anything you want to add to that before we jump in?
Yeah, I want to jump into that definition of best because best is the superlative, and therefore it's comparative in some way. But at the same time, the best doesn't have to be the best as in comparing to anyone else. It can be your best, right? Living, like you say, your best life, like I'm living my best life. What are the choices that would align me with my best experience in life? What are the things that I can think or how I can be in life that allows me to feel connected and feel like I'm really on path, right? Following what my soul's decisions, etc., are, right? Because when I'm following that, there's a certain feeling inside I get that allows me to feel like, yes, life is meaningful, number one, but also that I'm advancing towards fulfilling whatever my purpose would be at that point in time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And we had a retreat last summer, I think it was. We had a whole theme that was the best day ever. It started with the best day ever. And then it converted into the best month ever. And then we were like the best year ever. And then it was like the best retreat ever. And then everything just became the best ever. And I hadn't thought about it in a while until recently when Aria said invest in the best. And I was like, yes, I'm like, this is the theme. So this is part of the bonus work that we want to do with you all today, helping you integrate. The kids are going to go over and play at the park to give us a little bit of quiet for a few minutes. They're just burning out.
If we could get up to, right? Yeah.
Burn off some energy. And
you go ahead.
And so if you have any questions, let us know because we'd like to workshop with you guys and hot seat. We have some hot seats to do and there's all sorts of goodness. You guys want to take this with you? Okay. No? Okay. Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can still play the game.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, we can still play the game.
All right. So we're excited to be here for this bonus session. And again, as things come up, feel free to raise your hand too. Like we'll watch the comments. I might have to turn the phone a little bit to watch the comments. And if there's something that you want a hot seat on, or you're like, I really would like some further clarification or explanation on that, just lift your hand. Okay. We love connecting with you in this way. It gives us an opportunity to get to know you a little bit too. And
So I want to start with this because I feel like we've accomplished a lot so far together, right? Up to this point, we've accomplished a lot. Now, we got to the place yesterday where we wrote a list, right? And most of you were here with us, I believe. We wrote a list and we read a few things that we no longer wanted. And then we had part of that list that was things that we wanted to keep. So do most of us have that list together today as well? If you don't have your list today, then just think of one or two things that you'd really like to accomplish in a relatively near-sighted period, all right, in the next 3 months or so, right? And I want you to just take a look at that list and start thinking about it a bit, or feeling into it. What would it look like, right, for that to be taking place in your life within that time period? Let's say 3 months, 3 to 6 months, right? What would it look like? What would that look like and feel like to you if some of those things that you had on that list are really being accomplished by you? Just take that time to take a look at that and feel into that. And then
I
you can
was
go
going to
ahead.
say, while you're doing that, I'm going to say hi to everybody here.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Alexandra. Hi, Brenda.
We see you,
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Hi.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Beverly.
Yeah.
Hi, Gina. Hi, Marta. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Diane.
Chloe.
Hi,
Hi, Shrira.
Gina. Hi, Gina.
So grateful to have you all here. Thank you for being here with us on this Saturday. We're so grateful.
Hi again, Brenda.
And while you're doing this, I got to just show you, like, people would say, okay, like there's a lot of moving parts in life. But then when you just kind of ground into wherever you are, like I'm looking at where we are right now in Delray, like look behind us. I don't know if you can see. There's this incredible canal behind us with this massive boat that's back there, and everybody's having a good time. It's like you can hear that song.
Doing the whole Sweet Home Alabama bit
Yeah,
and all of
exactly.
that, you know.
Yeah, it's so good. And
Good
so,
stuff.
and you got people working out around us, the palm trees, the birds are happy, like there's such joy in the experience. And I think that that's really important for you to also contemplate that when you're looking at the life that you're creating and what you want for yourself, to really look at what is the joy, what's the sense of fulfillment, and can I start with even what's in my current reality? Right? Like to be able to look around for a moment and drop in and be like, wow, like look at what I get to see. Look at what I get to experience every day. Look at what's in this realm that I'm in, and be able to really have a moment of gratitude, because gratitude will expand you on so many levels. It'll open you in so many ways. Yeah. So continue.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing to have, gratitude itself. It's beautiful. Now, with the list that you wrote yesterday, I'm sure you have an idea of what it would look like and what would allow you to feel grateful as well, right? Because if it was that way, exactly as that list has for you, would you not feel grateful that it was that way? Would you not feel that state of the same thing that we were looking for by the ego means before, the state of safety or the state of satisfaction, feeling like things were finally working out? Because sometimes we have that, right? We have long periods of time where we're like, oh, I just wish that this thing would just, that things would just work out, like it would just be smooth. When it is that way, how do we really feel when it has worked out? It's almost like, I don't want to put it this way from an ego standpoint per se, but it's almost a place of feeling like everything is flowing, almost a slight invincibility. Like if life is just really putting this beautiful blankets around you and making sure that everything is working in order, and you just feel less of a threat in terms of your environment. Your environment now is almost welcoming, right? In fact, when you find people that are really kind and calm to others around them, sometimes it's just because of the inner safety they feel. They feel like they can connect with the environment more because inside they feel that calm, right? Whereas when you have people saying, hey, I'm feeling shy, or I just don't really feel to be around people that much, and those sorts of things, sometimes it's in a conversation and in a condition, right? So when you've moved into that state of looking at what you've put on that list and you start to feel grateful for having it, you've also shifted your inner. All right. Now let's look at the next step to that. What do you think would be stopping you from moving straight into that all the way? And if somebody wants to jump on and be the person that I speak to directly for this one, lift your hand and we can go ahead and jump into one and we can troubleshoot and dive into that one directly if you're compelled to do it. If you want to be that person to have an amazing breakthrough in this specific area today, we can do that. And if not, it's okay. I can do the group. But if anyone feels like this is their moment to shine, you know, we have those moments sometimes where we're like, maybe I've done it a number of times. That's why I'm saying that, right? I've been in like big events and stuff like that, and you know, you kind of want to put your hand up, but you're hoping that the person next to you would do it instead, so it don't have to be you, but you can still kind of get it, that type of thing. If it's you, and you know it's you, and you're feeling that compelling feeling inside of you, then take a chance, do it, and let's have some fun. I mightn't be mean. I might not. I'm kidding, right? And if not, then
We'll do a group.
yeah.
We'll do a group one too.
Anybody feeling to be that person, though, I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you the last chance to be that person. If you're all right, good, somebody did lift their hand. Okay, Marta. Hi, we're gonna do it. Okay, so Marta, we're gonna dive in. What is there anything you feel that's stopping you from living that list that we did yesterday fully right now? Is there anything in the way of that?
Sorry, guys. I'm
Yeah,
right in
good,
the
good.
sun.
Nice.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
So, this is exciting and a little bit
Mhm.
nervous. I'm a little nervous
Good.
because the one thing that came up yesterday was my ego,
Yeah.
quite strong. Yeah, it's like the ego stands in
Ego
the
is
way.
straight up. That's it.
That's
it.
it.
Right? Yeah.
It's quite strong.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me about that. When you say your ego, how is it showing up and how is it playing in your how is it showing up exactly? What is it doing? Is it giving you a
Right.
feeling of wanting to constrict it? Is it giving you a feeling? What is it creating in you currently? Or what is it putting forth as the obstacle?
It's wanting to control, and it's
Ooh.
wanting me to come out as the all-knowing.
Yeah.
That I'm the one who has the answers. And
Yes.
I do feel, and you know, there are moments where I'm like, I trust what I'm picking up on, but it doesn't always give me the right to, but I want to like say it, express it right away, right? Not
Yeah.
always making room for the other person to feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
there is that element of safety, just like what you said at the beginning, right? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the feeling that I want to bring forth in this world, right? Where I show up and I feel safe and there's, you know, people around me feel safe. And I'm like, well, the ego doesn't let me do that because the perception changes when ego kicks in of myself and of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I
No, it's
answer that?
interesting that you say that. I love that you framed it that way because this is the ego's one and only trick, right? You know how it's like you know somebody and you know what they're up to, and you really don't get into it with them because you see and you know that they'll always come at that exact angle.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how the ego is, right? If you are to take a proper look, it's only got two tricks. Here's its two tricks. If you know this, you'll never really get stumped by it totally again when it shows up. The two tricks are this. It's going to offer you some form of safety from some threat, right? And the threat is a threat that you yourself assess in the first place. So it's a threat from a threat that you made up in the first place, right? It's going to offer you that.
Okay.
That's the payoff it's going to give you. Or it's going to try in some way to make you somewhat satisfied or happy, but not all the way happy. It's never all the way. It's never complete. It's never like, I'm completely joyful. It's never going to be that. It's always going to be some version of that that allows you to temporarily have a smile on your face, like if something went so right, but really, you know, on some level that it can't even be lasting, right? So that's what it does. And it does that strategically. It's a strategy. The strategy is to gain your, what is the word for allegiance, right? It's to gain your allegiance because when it has your allegiance, you just said that you know you have to be the all knowing. Well, the thing is, you are the all knowing. It is within you. You are creating your experience. But the power that you create that with can sometimes be usurped or borrowed by the ego if you give it to that. And when I'm saying the ego, let's not think of the ego as this separate bad thing that's trying to get you anyway, right? It's not something that's trying to get you. It's just a mechanism and a way of thinking that keeps us within certain parameters as human beings. So we won't destroy ourselves. We won't destroy the bodies and everything. That's the
Right.
purpose it serves, right? But sometimes it overrides the programming that we need to function well. It puts us in a state where we're now dependent on it, where really we're the power source. It's like we're the battery, but it's convincing us that it's the battery, right? So then we're
Right.
freely giving power to it, right? And we're feeling like we need it when really, for its existence, it needs us, right? So that's the whole trick. And that's the whole thing that's going on. Now, when we recognize that, then whatever seems to be stopping us, like you said, the ego, it's not the ego that's stopping you, it's your belief. And I'm not saying anything harsh here, right?
Yeah.
It's just the belief that the ego has something to offer you. That's what's stopping you. Because it can't give you anything, really. That's what it is. It looks like it can give you something, but remember, you have it. So just like we were talking about giving and having, for instance, in earlier on, right? The only way that you can experience something in your own world is if you already have it within. That's the only way. What happens is when you share it, you get to see it and know that it's there. So then you're aware that you have it. And then that shows up as experience because now you know you have it. Whereas before, it could have been questionable. It could have been questioned. Is that confusing or is that straight?
No, that's so straight.
Okay, good.
But I'm getting tears.
Yeah.
Like you're speaking, like this is a
Yes.
perfect moment. So thank you for creating this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because that's been like a missing link for me for the past little bit.
Yeah.
And even maybe just admitting it that it is the ego and how it functions. Because there's a bit of a shame and embarrassment.
Yeah. No,
But it's okay.
I feel you. I feel you in
Yeah.
that. And I want to
Yeah.
say this. Don't think that you're the only
Everybody.
one with an ego. Okay? You're not the only
Yeah, no.
one in the house with an ego. Okay? We all have one. Don't let anybody fool you and
Right.
tell you they're without one. It is meant to do that thing. It is meant to protect, but it's how much leverage you give it. If you give it all of your leverage and you let it be the master, then yeah, you're in trouble. Your life will look hard. Things will be hard.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah, and
you're
I
willing
think-
to,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. You're doing.
And I
real
think
good
I
at this.
think it's just touching on the safety part. Like it's like, okay, there was this like slight shift where I'm like, oh, now I can give myself permission to show up in a safe way for me.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Like,
beautiful.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Just
Yeah.
like this. Oh, okay. It
And
was a
here's the
perspective.
beauty
It
of
was that
this.
perspective.
Yeah. So here's the beautiful part of this in what you're saying here. You never have to rely on the ego to give you those things anymore, right? Okay? Because you know you have it.
Yeah.
Which puts you in a different place. It's like the person who goes after every dangling carrot they see. You know, if people dangle carrots in front of you and you feel like you need to have that carrot because you're hungry, you're going to dance for that carrot. You're going to sing for that carrot. You're going to do handstands for that carrot. You'll do all kinds of stuff for that carrot,
Right.
right? When really, you don't need to do anything for that carrot. You need to just recognize that you have it, right? And that is the energy that creates it in your experience. So that being said, right? When we're talking about thrive and like leadership and everything we're speaking about, we're talking about gaining the awareness of having that, of actually being able to have the tools that remind you in the moment that the mind is drifting off, that, hey, this is here with me. I have it, even if it's like leadership in particular, leading, right? To be a leader, everyone thinks you have to be all like authoritative and tell everybody what to do. A lot of people think that, right? But that's not what it's
Or
about.
that you have to have it all perfect and all figured out.
Yeah, that too, right? But that's not what you lovely. But that's not really what you need to be a leader. You need to be aware, right, of that source within you or that energy that is guiding you, your soul's purpose, so that you take those steps. And those who see that, it's crazy how it works. But when people see that, they see potential for themselves in that. they see that they too can do it. Just like we're talking about in the conversation of the somebody will remember this, but the conversation of being not necessarily a leader, but being a just being a representative of whatever the idea is. When you represent something fully, that was a competition. Yeah, in competition, if somebody achieves something, then now other people could view it as possible for themselves too. So it's kind of like you're walking around as the spokesmodel, right?
Right.
Sorry.
Of what that idea is. You are that person that people look to and they're like, wow, maybe I can do that too. It might be maybe at first, but then by following the path and learning what they would want to learn as well, they then get to jump right into it and be that too, right? So I love where you're headed with this and how you get that. And I love that you're with us right now, to tell you the truth, because we're jamming, right? We're jamming, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
love, this is what I love, just for
Yeah.
the record, right? You guys are
Yeah.
traveling, I'm shopping, 5-minute drop in, let's work through this. And let's
Let's
keep
do it. Yeah.
moving, right?
Yeah, yep.
A
That's
moment of
isn't it,
tears.
right? But isn't that true of like
Yeah.
life, right?
Yeah.
Like this is life. It's nice to say that we could all be in like a closed container and a closed bubble and
Yeah.
figure our stuff out. That's
Yeah.
not usually the case.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in the moment, in life is when the stuff is coming up. And then to be able, like you said, to just drop in and be like, here's what I'm moving through. This is what I'm facing. Okay, great. Let's move it.
Yeah.
And then there's an expansion. And it doesn't have to, the scenario doesn't have to look perfect.
Yeah.
The space doesn't have to be perfect timing. It's like now is the perfect timing,
Yeah.
wherever you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
love
That
you
was
so
great.
Thanks for
much.
being courageous
you.
enough to jump on with us here, you know,
Thank
doing
you.
it. I know a lot of people in the crowd were thinking about it and they were like,
Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I?
exactly, but you did it. Thank you so much. You stood
Okay.
up for everybody here, just so you know.
Thank you.
I bet everybody over there is thankful. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Enjoy.
See you soon. I'm still on the call, but I'll see you soon, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
sounds good.
Most
Thank you.
certainly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it. You know, it's really about, are we willing to step into that space fully of having it? And there are certain tools that we can use to do that, right? Those tools that we use to do that is what we really put forward
Sorry.
in
Just
Thrive
want you
and
to
in
look
Light
at it.
Leadership. That is very courageous, dude. Sure, sure you want to be doing that? All right, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's up there climbing, man. Okay. Okay, so it's that idea of being able to really step into that and following your purpose, like we're saying. This is aligned with purpose. When following your purpose, you'll find that a lot of these moments come up where you might have little questions as to whether you're following really your intuition or really your soul, or you're following just the desire that your ego is giving, right? There might be questions about that. And I can give you a little idea as to how we do this in Thrive, by the way, big time, and in Light Leadership. We really solidify this, but we really test what's coming up. How we test it is this. Your feeling gives you a sensation, yes, because if you're already accustomed to something, it'll feel safe to you. So you can't always say that because you feel calm, that it's good. You can't always say that, although we would like to say that. It's the easiest thing to say, right? Like if you feel calm, then it's good. And if you feel a little scared, then it's bad. It's not only that. There's a little litmus test you could do to get a little further and deeper than that. You really check in a little deeper behind the initial feeling, right? You relax and clear the space completely within, right? And then you go back to whatever that thought is and you listen in, you feel deeply what your real sensation or your real relationship is with that. And when you've done that, you just check, see how you're breathing, see whether your heart is racing, see these things. And at the same time, pay attention to where your mind is headed. If your mind is headed to a place where you know the outcome is sure, you feel like the outcome is sure, you feel like it's going to happen, then you're listening to your soul, right? Because your soul will always inspire you, always support you, always have you feeling like it's possible. If you find that you still have this little uneasy feeling in you and this question and you feel like you're not supported, that's the ego. And not because the ego is wrong or bad, but because ego is not a thing by itself. And I will explain this further right now, just to make sense of this, right? If you knew you were supported, in whatever it was you were undertaking in the world, right? Would you not then feel like, yes, I'm good regardless of what it was? If you knew you were fully supported and you knew that it would work out, you just feel good. You feel connected. The only reason that you would have uneasiness is if you feel you're not fully supported. So on some level, a part of you is telling you, we're not 100% on this, buddy. We're not ready for this as yet. And it's not that the thing itself is bad or that the thing itself is wrong. It's that we don't feel that way about it as yet. That's all it is. So the decision then and the question that you're facing is not between this thing or that thing. The real decision you're facing is, am I fully on board or am I halfway in? Right? So this is where we move with Tribe actually. We try to allow you to come to that place within yourself where you know whatever you choose to do. And notice my words, I'm not saying what you decide to do in this case. I'm saying that whatever you choose to do fully. You choose to go fully. And you want to be clear on whether you really want to do that or not as well. But once you have that clear and you move on that, you know it's going to succeed. In fact, I can tell you, in my experience directly, and in our experience as a unit as well, there have been times where there have been decisions to make or choices to make. And it's almost like you go back and forth a bit and you think about the positive, the negative, pros, cons, all of these things, and you try to figure all that out. When really, thanks for the hug, buddy. Thank you. Yeah. So you think about it, right? But then, thank you, sweetie pie. Thank you. Yeah. But then when you when you really allow yourself to dive into that decision making process properly, what tends to happen is instead of thinking about whether or not you can do it, because it's usually a solo activity you're thinking about right then, I realized in my experience and in our experience that it was really about getting clear on what I valued in the situation and whether I was willing to go the full way on the situation. Because once that's decided, eh, there is no turning back on it. You just go, you know it's going to happen. Anything you put your mind to fully, I'm going to say something now that you've probably heard before, but you maybe haven't heard in this exact way. Anything that you put your mind to fully, that you make a full choice for, that you're willing to go for fully, is going to succeed. If you can bring your whole self to anything, it will succeed. If you have that whole dichotomy and that whole idea of fluctuation and a wobble or a question and all these things for extended periods of time, that's when you have the challenge because the mind is split in your perception. But if the mind is whole and it's clear, then you have the universe, source, spirit, creator, God itself with you right there, creating with you. So how can it not work? How can it not work? That's really the question, right? So we talk about miracles as if it's this strange thing that happens by chance or by luck, and it's so mystical. And man, that's supposed to be our everyday living. We are to be in a space where we're so whole on whatever we decide to do or choose to do that our life is showing up like that. Miraculous because we're wholly wherever we are. Right? We're wholly there. So this is what we bring about. This is more of the work that we really do in Five and Light Leadership, getting you to that point internally where whatever you choose to do, that's where you are fully. It will succeed because you've chosen to have it succeed. You've chosen to be fully there and have that work. So the vision we have for our community in general, all the people that we work with really, and this happens, you see little popcorns pop in here and there as we go along, right? You have people like, oh, this happened and oh, this happened and oh, that happened. Those are not luck and chance moments. Those are moments that we've spoken about, that we've created together. We've co-created, we've sat, and we've visualized and we've gotten into the space of feeling what it would feel like to have that happen and getting to internalize that and embody that to the point where your nervous system is actually reacting in a way where you feel calm in the moments where you're moving towards that situation, where you're expressing that you know that it's going to work. And then from that, it does express. And then at that moment, when we're talking in the conversation, it's like everybody's like, oh, that happened. That's so awesome and everything. But what really happened was that connection to that moment, that fullness of coming forward and being that. That's what happened.
And staying solid.
All right.
I think that that's really important for everyone to hear and know too, that when people ask the question all the time, like, how does someone create a miraculous life? How do you create the abundance that you choose and want? How do you create the health and vitality and youthfulness that you want? How do you have the love in your relationships that you want? How do you have the flourishing business or work that's aligned with your purpose in the world?
Yes.
And it's, yes, there's miracle energy to it. And how that
Beautiful
miracle
miracles.
energy gets initiated is by you,
Yes.
by your choice, but then also by your consistency in showing up. It's not just a one and done. It's being able to create every day. It's having the skills, having the support, having the, because we are going to wobble. This is the truth. There's going to be wobble and there's going to be fluctuations. You all have seen this in your life. If you just even look at the last week, look at the last month. How many times have you experienced some sort of fluctuation or wobble, especially when there was something that was important to you, something
Yes.
of value to you, and you were like, okay, I got this. I'm going to do this thing. I'm choosing this. And all of a sudden there's like, oh, and there's like this wobble that starts to come. And we're like, what is happening all of a sudden? And it's because you're choosing it so powerfully. Darn wobbles, right? So many. You're choosing it powerfully. You're setting such a clear signal to your higher self, to the universal field, that it's like, okay, now you're choosing it, but are you really going to choose it? And it's not testing you. It's just saying you're choosing it. That's great. We hear you. But are you really going to choose it? And all those wobbles, those fluctuations, that's the stuff that has to get worked out of our field,
Mhm.
out of our identity, out of our belief systems, out of our whole being, even our mindset. That has to get worked out, because it's like, if I'm saying I want the most beautiful, the best ever experience, anything, choose anything, but then I have some sort of inner belief system or a program that's running or a loop that's going on inside of me that's like, okay, I'll give you different examples to make this tangible for you. Let's say somebody says, I want to have the most flourishing business where I'm being of service. All of my gifts are being utilized. I've got overflowing clients. There's overflowing abundance. Like, I really want to make a big impact. I want to be of service in the biggest way. And you know that. You're like, yes, this is my torch. This is my thing. I want this. And you feel it, you know it. But then there's something else inside of you that's like the first question sometimes is, well, how am I going to do that? There's wobble number one. Then we go, this might be harder than I think. There's wobble number two. Am I really going to be supported? There's wobble number three. Is the world ready for what I have? There's wobble number four. Like, I could go on and on, right? There's fear that comes up. There's uncertainty that comes up. There's, how much am I going to charge? There's another wobble that comes up. Well, what if I charge too much? And what if people don't know my service? Or what if they can't pay for it? There's another wobble. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, concerns,
Right? And that's just present moment. On top of that, we've got our past. And the past is saying, if you've had a pattern that's not been abundant, or where business doesn't come easy, or clients don't just flow in by the droves, you probably have a story or a pattern that's back there that's also now speaking up. Because, like Marta mentioned, when the ego cracks open, that whole other past cracks open. And then it might start saying all of the old patterns of like, this isn't going to work. You've watched people try to do this, this, and this, and look at what happened. Remember when you wanted to do that, or you saw somebody do that, and you remember what happened? This is scary. This is not good. And all of a sudden it's like, wing. Now it's no longer a wobble. It's like, stop the train, retreat, stay where you are, right? The same thing is true as if somebody wants, let's say they want more money. And they're just like, I just want to have more abundance. I want to have more abundance because maybe I want to play differently. Maybe I want to live differently. Maybe I want to invest in some things. Maybe I want to, I don't know, maybe I want to travel the world. If you have any patterns in you that are not in alignment with it, they're going to create a wobble. Not to stop you from wanting what you want, but to say, hey, this is part of your cleanup. We're going to support you in creating what you want, but this is the cleanup that has to get cleaned up in order for it to be smooth sailing, right? I'm thinking about the boats on this canal just now. Like, you might have heard the we are opening the gate now, step back from the thing, right? So there's all these boats in this canal, and they're wanting an easy passageway to just pass right through, but there's a road. So the road could be a potential barrier. But if they just pause for a second, they're like, no, this is the course I'm charting. I'm going through here to wherever that leads. And I know and I trust that the barrier is going to be released. It's going to be lifted. I just have to pause for a second. And that's our life. Sometimes we just have to pause for a second and go, okay, what is the cleanup? You could take any example, health, relationships, anything that's important to y'all. Take anything, living your purpose full out. I almost guarantee that the moment you say, this is important to me, this is valuable to me, you are going to experience some sort of wobble. And the reason why we can say, the people that work with us, our clients, our community. It's not that they're so like we're all special. We're all special. Y'all are special. Okay. But it's not like there's some secret thing that they have that you don't have. It's just they've got more support. They have tools. They have, like what Marta said, I could just drop in and know that I could get support like that in the moment that something comes up. By having the consistency, by having the support, by having the tools, by having the know-how to move through those things, when the wobbles come, you're like, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to freak out over a wobble.
And it's important to be able to contextualize it as such. Like the idea of it calling it a wobble, like Tara's saying, is huge. It's different when you make that thing your truth versus just seeing it as, oh, this is a moment. It's a wobble. It's just a fluctuation in energy. How can I transform that energy? That's the question you'll ask.
Yeah.
If you're in that context. But if you're in the other context where it's just like, oh, this is so serious, this is such a problem, then you let that wobble be a wall.
Yes, so wobble becomes a wall.
Wobble becomes a
Write that
wall.
down. That's so good.
Right? And if the wobble is a wall, then you've stopped. But if you have support and you're able to identify it as such and transform your mind around it, then that wall just becomes a minor door that you could open and walk through, or you could walk around if necessary because you see a space to walk around it. That's the difference. It's not a wall, it's a door, right? You open it. And so, we could really look at that and realize that where you are right now, all right?
Can I just add something quickly?
You go ahead, you go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to add something quickly, because when Gabriel just said that when you open the door, sometimes we're afraid to open the door, right? We're afraid to venture into the unknown. We're afraid to venture into something new. And the
Yes.
kids are such great representatives of this because, sometimes they get scared, right? Especially in new places, they get scared, right? And so they'll often say to us, can you come with me? And you're like, what? Like, it's right there. And they're like, I'm scared. Can you just come with me? And the moment that we are just there with them, we don't have to do anything extra. We're just there with them. We're walking with them. We're walking side by side. We're just there with them. Do you want to know what happens? Every time. That fear quickly subsides. It just dissolves. And then once they're good, they're like, okay, I'm good now. And then we can leave the room. It's exactly like that in life. When we're scared to do something, we can let the fear stop us, or you can have some really great, like Arya said, invest in the best. You can have some really great support in your corner, right? That when you're scared, it's okay to be like, hey, I'm scared. I got some fear coming up, or whatever it is. And we're going to be there. And we're going to hold your hand and we're going to walk into the space together and we're going to move the energy. And then all of a sudden, our dream, our hope, our desire is that you get to the point where you're like, okay, I moved past the fear. I'm good now. I'm like, great. I love when you're great. I love when you're doing your thing. I love when you're out there flourishing. I love when you're putting the tools into place. I love when you're living full out. That is like one of the greatest things for me.
And then eventually, what happens is you get to the place within yourself. This is the goal, really. Eventually, you get into the space within yourself to realize that there's nothing to fear. You'll be all right if you open the door. You'll be all right if you go into that dark room that might look scary at first, because you know what? You're carrying the light with you. So eventually, you get to that place, and then you're creating along those lines. And then you step up as the leader you are, right? And start to lead in that direction as well. If you feel like it's your moment now, even though you didn't put up your hand initially, maybe, all right? If you feel like it's really your moment to grow, to really align with your purpose, to let the seed of light that is within you be expressed, go ahead and either connect with us, connect with Alexandra or myself, and let's go through that call and see how we can support you if this is your time for that. If it's time for your growth, if it's time for your expansion, if you really want to follow that soul's plan, or if you see yourself as a leader and you're really, really, really ready to step into leading from that soul aware place, right, where you're living by that, go ahead and book the call. And Alexandra will place a link in the comments where you can do that. And we will be able to talk about this and see what really suits you. Really find a plan that allows you to move through that in a way that empowers you not only to just be with us as a community, but to take that next level of bringing it into your life and using that as the way that you transform those choice moments. You choose what is really calling for you. You're empowered, you're moving forward, you're going to be aligned with your purpose. And if it is that you really want to, through this life you're in right now, achieve that purpose, see that puzzle fulfilled, see yourself in a position of completion regarding what you came here to do, which you know you have to. It's important to you. Then this would be the time. This would be the time to connect about it. Okay? So I hope that you do have that. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just, the boys are so funny because I don't think they realize that when they stand right beside the phone here, that the voice picks up like right there. And I'm
Yeah.
like trying to
Well,
explain to
well,
them.
they're
I'm like,
here.
I'm like, it's right there. What I want to end on is this, okay? So definitely reach out, okay?
Yes.
Reach out, book a call. I also want to celebrate Caitlin for stepping in, by the way.
Congratulations on making that.
Yes, I want to congratulate Caitlin. That was so
Yeah.
exciting and amazing.
Like that dance. Nice one. I like it.
This is going to be a really powerful season for you.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's going to be
Gonna
really beautiful. I
Yeah.
know you're ready too. You're ready for this next expansion. You're ready to be of service in bigger ways.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to witness what is going to unfold for you and how it's all going to come together. Because I know that you've done a lot of work. Caitlin's done a lot of work
Yes.
on herself in
Yes.
the world with clients already. And so I feel like this is a new evolution that's coming together
Yeah.
that you're going to get to formulate and create something really powerful, really beautiful that's going to be of service in a big, big way for people. And I know you're ready for it. I know you're ready for it. So I want to celebrate you.
Yeah.
So good.
This is beautiful.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
And this is the last thing that I want to end on is this. So I mentioned this yesterday in the same conversation of reciprocity. A lot of times people will ask us, how does this reciprocity thing really work? Right? And it works when you choose to step up, when you choose to make something or know that this is meaningful, this is important. It's like for us, people will often say, you know, like, how is it with homeschooling? Like your kids, like, aren't you worried that they're not going to be socialized? Or aren't you worried that they're going to be la la la, whatever? If you guys were to meet our kids, you would see like they are so great. They're not afraid of adults. They're not afraid to have adult conversations. I remember being a little nervous when I was a kid to be around adults, you know, because you're around kids all the time. And they're great around kids too. And they're the most loving kind. Like I was just watching our kids on the playground over there a minute ago. And there was this little girl who's younger than the boys. And I could see the mom, like parents are, you know, they're mindful, right? Because they're like, here's two boys, right? And our boys were so mindful as to this little girl that other kids normally would just go blowing past, right? And so I bring that forward because this also is part of our purpose. Like being conscious parents is a part of our purpose. Being mindful as to what goes into our kids' heads and consciousness is so important to us because we want to make sure that we're giving them the best opportunity for life to be really great human beings on the planet. That is like my number one thing. And so you will find that there are layers within your purpose and all of them get to be fulfilled. And when all the purpose pieces get to be fulfilled, there's this natural overflow that starts to happen. Again, it's like when I know or when I start to think about the whole being taken care of, not just what I want, but the whole, what's important to Gabriel, what's important to the kids, what's important to you guys, what's important for our clients, what's important for the whole, what's important for the community, what's the bigger ascension conversation that's happening. When I keep that in mind and heart, it then all of a sudden it inspires me to take steps that I otherwise may not be taking. Because if you just sit in your individual eye, like Marta highlighted, fear can come up, ego can come up, and that could stop you from doing the thing. But when you all of a sudden are like, no, like this movement, this mission, this purpose, this thing, this community, this world change, this ascension, like whatever you feel you're connected to in the greater whole, when your energy all of a sudden steps out of yourself, they always say, if you are stuck in yourself, go be of service to someone else. Get outside of yourself for a second. The moment you do, there's an expansion for you and for them and for you. And the same thing when it comes to reciprocity. You step outside of even what I think I want, and that's important. It's a part of the whole. And bring the greater whole into your decision making. Bring the greater whole into whatever choices you're making next. And you'll see greater reciprocity comes because you're considering the greater whole. It's not just about the individual I. People get stuck there a lot. Like, how do I make this work? How do I make more money? How do I heal this thing? How do I figure this out? that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for support, for guidance, for miracles, for the divine to step in, and for the greater whole to also possibly be a part of whatever you're up to. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, I want to reiterate that when your purpose is fulfilled, when you actually make it worth it, like it's worth it for me to fulfill this purpose for the greater whole, everything else is taken care of. You feel lighter, you feel brighter, you feel happier, more abundance flows in, more clarity comes. You just feel more fulfilled on the whole. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
That's great. That's great.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't even know what time it is,
So
but
yeah,
I just want to check the time. Hold on. I have to turn my phone to do that. Okay, good. Yep.
yeah. So again, if this conversation has put you in a space where you're really looking at moving forward, and in terms of reciprocity, like Tara was saying, recognizing that when you're giving, you're really making yourself aware of the fact that you are a part of a whole, and that by giving, you are realizing that you have, therefore rising that within you, and a rising tide lifts all ships. So if you're rising, everything around you is rising as well, as you know. So if that's your mission, and that's what you really are, and you find yourself in relationship with us in this way, it is a good idea to connect on the call, and we can walk through what your next steps look like. And that doesn't necessarily mean you must anything,
No.
but there's an option to do so, and you'll understand what it looks like, and that could be a beautiful thing in itself. So let's definitely look at that. We look forward to connecting with you. If you're watching this, by the way, on Facebook afterwards, because we're going to post this to there as well, the first link underneath this in the comments is going to be the link for you to book the call as well. Right? And in that way, we can connect and have this conversation and keep your positive vibes flowing. Right? Right? Yes, yes.
And before we go, I just want to give you the details again for Thrive and for Light Leadership, our two pathways. Okay. Thrive is the pathway for more of our personal. This is our personal evolution, our
Yes.
personal growth, and how it affects, yes, the whole, because it's gonna positively affect your relationships, the people around you. It will positively affect your business too. It's just we don't have a whole lot of business conversations in Thrive. We have those more in Light Leadership.
Yes.
So you are going to experience the overflow, though. That happens all the time in Thrive. We've seen that time and time again, that people's other areas, business and money and all the things come up. They all come up in Thrive. Everything comes up in Thrive. And so Thrive is really this beautiful space. It's been a beautiful container for conscious community. I would say we have one of the most conscious, loving communities I've ever, and I've been in a lot of masterminds, you guys. I've been in a lot of programs. I've been in a lot of spaces, and I crave what we've created in these other spaces that just doesn't exist.
Shout out to the community
Yeah.
for being so amazing, for real, because it is the individuals in the community that make up the community. And we have some amazing individuals in this community that are generating and creating this lovely field that is Thrive. So, you know, if you're a part of that and you've been doing that, shout out to you. Definitely amazing. Thanks, guys.
Because that's what it is. It's a living field.
Yes.
Right. And that living field is felt by everyone. And each person that comes in adds another element and another flavor. And then you get to be a part of that living field. And it is so supportive and so beautiful to be able to connect in that way. Thrive, our classes are on Tuesday nights. Everything is live. You can go back and watch past replays if you want. There's going to be a whole vault of meditations and abundance accelerators and other things that you will have access to. But all the live content is taught live. Okay. And the way it works, Gabriel teaches 1 week, I teach the next.
Yeah.
He teaches, and then I teach. And so it's live on Tuesday nights. Everything's recorded. The replay link goes up in the Thrive thread immediately so that you can go listen to it. If you want to download pieces of that content, you can, so that you can keep it and go back and listen to it. Then we have live Q&A on Thursdays. And Gabriel and I love Q&A. Everybody in the community loves Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A is beautiful.
Because it brings a whole other energy to the table. Everybody gets to ask questions. And a lot of times when one asks the question, it pertains to everyone.
Yeah.
And it opens things up and it allows us to coach and mentor in many different capacities, which is really fun. And then when you come in to Thrive, depending on if you're coming in for the next season or the next year, either option, you will have one-on-ones. So reach out to Alexandra for more details on which of the two options and what you get with that. There's also some really great bonuses that'll be on the table until tomorrow at the end of the day. And then there's our regular bonuses that will expire on Tuesday, okay? And you can save some really great money right now by coming in at this time. There's some amazing bonuses. Alexandra has all the details. If you're curious and just be like, just send me the details and the bonuses, she'll send them to you. And then in Light Leadership is the conversation where we're really talking about leading a bigger movement, a bigger mission, your business, all the wonderful things. It's a mastermind style. And I was sharing, thank you, baby. I was sharing with one of our previous community members that when we first started Light Leadership, we were just moving through. We were like figuring out, sorting out what that really was. And now I feel like we've nailed it. We know what Light Leadership is.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's meant to be this beautiful business leadership container from a very heart-centered place, conscious place, and really about you doing the inner identity work. That inner identity work is essential if you want to really lead a big movement on the next level. Okay. And again, there's some great bonuses. You can come in for the next section or you come in for a whole year. There's bonuses with each of those. If you're curious about Light Leadership and that's the level that you want to play and you want to expand upon, reach out to Alexandra and just say, can you send me the details? Can you send me the bonuses? She's got all that information. Book a call if you need some more clarification. Okay. And this next section in season we're going into for both Light Leaders and Thrive. When you're in Light Leadership, you get Light Leadership and Thrive. And you get access right now. The bonus is you get access to the divine manifestation space. Okay. And what we're going into are the seeds of light. And Gabriel and I were even talking about it this morning. The seeds of light are really to activate the codes of light that are within you so that you can really expand your purpose in new ways. We're not recycling the old. This is about you becoming the next new version of you that your soul is asking of you because we're forever evolving and growing together and individually. Yeah.
So
We're gonna go.
if this is you, book a call, connect with us. We're gonna dive in and we're gonna have a good time in this season, definitely. Okay. We're looking forward to seeing you there. We'll catch you again. Look for the links, right? There's probably a link on below this video already. And in the Facebook group, we'll put a link. It'll be the first comment, most likely, with the link for the video. Okay. So look out for that. And we look forward to sharing this with you. We go live again tomorrow at noon,
At noon. Yeah.
right? Who knows where we'll be tomorrow?
We'll be in a whole other space.
Okay, get it.
Fanning myself with a leaf.
But we look forward to seeing you. Have a beautiful weekend, all right, or a beautiful day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love. Bye.